everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So just a quick intro for the video that's coming up. I recorded this video, as you will have seen, it's working in my Christmas altered book. I pre-recorded this video before my internet started playing up, and when I went to edit the video I realized that I had blown the exposure right out. So I really struggled with whether or not to go ahead and post this video, and I have been looking for ways to edit it that I may be able to adjust the exposure to make it a little bit easier to watch. And I feel like I've achieved that. Most of the video isn't too bad. There is one little section in there that is blown out. Seems to be the way my book is facing at the time, but it is only a very small snippet of the video. So I've decided to go ahead and share with you, and I just wanted to apologize to you for not realizing that was the case when I was actually videoing, and to let you know that I will be working really hard to make sure it doesn't happen again. But this Christmas altered book was a project that I started actually before Christmas last year, and I really wanted to share all of the progress. Although I'm doing it at different times throughout the year, I want it to be a collective set of videos on my channel so that you can see the whole process. So all that being said, I just wanted to let you know that that's what happened, and I hope you enjoy watching this video. I look forward to, oh, don't go because the video is coming. I'll see you at the other end. Bye. Hello everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I'm going to have another day in my Christmas altered book. We worked on it yesterday and we created, it's like, which page? It was this page here. Remembering that I had a little negative space here and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do anything. I picked out this card. I'm still not sure about it, so I'm going to leave it for now. I might take that card out so I don't misplace it while I'm working today. So I have my template here, which I will admit, when I did these pages, because it had been so long since I'd worked in this book, I forgot I had templates for my backing paper and my focal point paper, so they were a fun find. And I will just show you, set that to the side. So I have the pink linen kit from DigitalCurio, and this one here was Whitewash Christmas from AntiquePaperie. So I've gone through and chosen the papers that I think might work. The second sheet, I'm torn between two. So I've chosen this paper, and I believe there's only 3 papers in this set. So I will show you. This is the one I've chosen to use. And then there's this one here. So this one says Snowflakes I'd Send. This one says I Am Dreaming of a White Christmas. Oh, this one says, sorry, if kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. Oh, golly. So I've chosen not to use the one with the candles, and I'm thinking that this linen backing paper will work really beautifully with this paper. It's kind of picking up the more mid-tones, I think, in the reds, which I really love. And then this one here says, All I Wish for Christmas is Only You. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I'm torn between these 2 pinks. So I feel like this pink is kind of working with the rabbit's ears. But then I do like the softness that this lighter pink gives. And so for me, it's going to come down to which one I think works better next to this. I like those together. I think I'm going to go with the softer one. I don't mind this one either, which surprised me because I didn't really think I would. I feel like the highlights, it's kind of picking up on the highlights, but I do like the contrast of the dark and the light. So they are the papers I'm using today. Okay. Now, the other thing I have done before we move forward with those is I've picked up this template here. Now, I believe I made a mistake when I did this. Oh no, this is the one I used for my 2-pocket page, which was this one. Was it this page? No, I think it was one that I did accidentally. I think it was a mistake. So I was looking at it and it folds in 3 really beautifully. So I'm going to use this side and I'm going to use it as a template. So I'm just trying to hold them all together and getting my hole punch. It's just slipping slightly. Sorry, it wasn't sitting flat. So just using my hole punch, I'm just going to notch out a little tab, just making sure I'm roughly center, and that will do all 3 at once. And that becomes our template for the next set of pages. So what I'm wanting to do is triple pockets. Now I do need to do some prep because I haven't torn any pages out. So pulling my sleeves up, getting ready. I'm going to pull out 10 pages and I'm making sure I open up that spine because, as you may or may not remember, I do have a little bit of a tear in the spine where the pages haven't necessarily come out as close to the spine as possible. So opening up the spine. So 1, my papers are stuck together. I think my glue has seeped at some stage. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And I am just going to see if I can pull that first page. Didn't come out so easily. Just at the top, I think the rest should be fine. I may see if I can just close to the spine here. Just going to see if I can take out a little of the bulk. tapering that down a fraction. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, and then this page then becomes our pocket page, and using this template, and after doing yesterday's video I was like, why didn't you hold that in place with your second set of hands? Because I wasn't thinking properly. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've worked in my altered book. So okay, so I've got that set up where I want it, and I'm now going to I didn't think I had that lined up very well. I need to turn it around so I can see properly. That's better. Much better. Actually, what I should do is ink my holes. That's what I haven't done. I haven't inked them so I can actually see them properly. Might do that now while I'm thinking about it. Better. Okay, and I'm just noticing I have a blue paper here, but it doesn't go all the way to the edge. So remembering, if you alter an encyclopedia, because it has the images in it. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up my little mess here. Because it has the images in it, you need to be aware that they do sometimes come to the edge. Well, in this encyclopedia it does, or they do. I'm just looking for an example. So this one, for instance, I wouldn't keep this page in here. I would potentially tear out one less or one more page so that I could remove this, because my backing papers won't cover all the way to the edge. I like that little bit of a white edge, as you can see. So I would make sure I tore that out. Okay, so that's one side. And then on this side, I am going to do the same thing, I think. So I'm going to set this up so I can punch my holes and I can see them so much better now that I've inked that. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Okay. I've just noticed I've got the page upside down, and I'm thinking I may need to turn it over, which means I need to ink both sides. Otherwise the pockets may not line up. They should line up okay, but they may not. So to be on the safe side, so just attaching that with my paper clips again. I don't know if you can see on camera, but that is so much easier to see now that it's inked. Didn't quite get to the edge there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So removing that, And I'm sitting that in the front of my book with my other templates so that I do not misplace it. And then I'm going to remove another 10. And again, I'm going to open out that spine. One. Two. Three. 4, 5. I'm going to just remove these little bits. Oh, 2 for 1. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay. Now part of the reason I'm removing these little pieces, especially close to the edge, so top and bottom, is because that's where I'm getting my build up that's stopping my book from opening easily. So you can see how this fold here has built up, so it's folding further and further and further across the top of the page, or sorry, bottom of the page. So I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have too much bulk, that doesn't get too out of hand, basically. Oh, what have I done? Oh, confused myself. I thought I was in the wrong spot. That was awkward. Okay. These little tweezers that I'm using have a flat tip, so I find them really good because they don't tend to as easily tear into a page when I'm using them. Having said that, I did tear into that page, but I should be able to fix that. Okay, let's go with that. Removing my rubbish, and I'm going to ink. So inking on the inside and outside of each page, just in case there's any white edge showing. And I just need to fold my lace down. There we go. So I hope you're all fabulous. I didn't even get to the greetings for the day. I was like straight into it. I've been watching other crafters and totally inspired and excited to get busy in my craft room myself. So I apologize for not saying hello sooner. I guess I always start off with a greeting by welcoming everybody, but It's not quite the same as making sure you're all fabulous. Okay, that blue is really throwing me. I'm like, I feel like I should be removing that page, which is kind of funny. I'm really enjoying working in this book again, I must say. I haven't worked on an altered book since I worked in this one last, and I so enjoy them, to the point where I was just thinking to myself, maybe I should make another one when I finish this. I don't know that the next one will be quite so big though. It was a huge undertaking to try this encyclopedia, and I'm really loving the way it's turned out. Actually, that's the other thing I wanted to show you. Just bear with me. A little bit more inking. I'm sorry if I'm probably off camera. My apologies. Let's just get this inking finished, and then I just wanted to point out something from yesterday's page. And again, I think I'm working off camera. This is a really big book to try and manipulate to get it under the camera all the time. So if I do venture off camera, I really am sorry. I'm doing my best to try and keep it in camera for you. I think I'll leave the inking there. Now, before I move forward, I wanted to show you, whoops, I wanted to show you yesterday's page. So this page in particular, when I was working on it, it looked very crinkled. It was, the page was, well, the paper was almost loose. And if you watch my previous video, you will see what I'm talking about. And I had mentioned on camera that I felt like it would dry a little bit firmer because I wasn't seeing the same wrinkling or rippling effect in the paper on my other pages. And it actually has. It's firmed up once the glue has dried. So there's still a little bit of movement in that paper, but you would expect that, especially for such a large book, but nowhere near the movement that it had yesterday. So it almost looked like the paper had stretched in places, but it's good now. So I just wanted to show you that. Now, okay, so I'm thinking, trying to decide which way around I would like to put these. I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, I hope they're not going to be too loud, but I think these will then tone them down. Do I want them that way, or do I want them... I think I like them that way. I don't know why. Okay, so that being said, I did have a template out. That's for my backing paper. Now, what did I do for the... There's another template for my focal paper. That one there. Okay, we're good to go. Now, which way around did I have them? I think I had them that way. If I didn't, you'd be laughing at me right about now. So I'm going to start, whoops, my ruler's up the wrong way. That was awkward. If you weren't laughing before, you'll be laughing now. Okay, just tearing off my white edges. You'll have to excuse me if my voice gets a bit croaky. We've got the fire going here, and I'm finding more and more that on the cooler days, which today is a cooler day, and the fire is up, It's drying out my throat a lot. I have just had a glass of water, but sometimes I go to talk and the words come out really croaky and I just go, oh, that's really awkward. So I'm sorry if that's happening. Yes, so I was just thinking about the idea of perhaps working on another altered book. Part of me was like, maybe I could do one behind the scenes, and then I was like, I actually already have a couple of things going behind the scenes, so maybe not. Oh, I don't need to do that. I have backing papers. I mean, templates. Yay for me. What a good idea that was. Okay, which way do I want to go? Fun scraps. Does anybody else get excited when they have scraps? I feel like when I first started crafting, or sorry, when I first started making journals, and I used to watch other people talk about how they could use their scraps. They needed ways to use their scraps, and I'm thinking to myself, I would give anything to have those fun scraps that you have to use in my crafting, because I didn't have any scraps at the time. And then I started to accumulate scraps, and I started to have a better understanding of what they were talking about. And then, I don't know about you guys, but all of a sudden there are all of these amazing, fun, fabulous ideas out there of ways to use scraps. And I find myself going, I need more scraps. I need more scraps. I was working in here yesterday by myself, and I was making some tags actually, and I backed them with some tea stain paper, and of course I got them from my little scrap basket. And I got to the point where I actually had to go and get a piece of tea stain paper because I didn't have any more scraps. And I was like, since when does that happen? Since when do I find myself in a situation where I don't have scraps? It was kind of cool, but I was just like, the other crafters, they won't believe it if I tell them. Believe it or not? Okay, so I'm thinking I want to take this right out of the center. So how am I best to do this? Oops, speaking of slipping. So just using my template, lining it up so that I can tear this all the way around. I want to bring that across. I just noticed I'm cutting off the F, so I've just brought that across to basically where the border is. It was only a fraction further than I was already going to tear it, so that will incorporate that. Oops, I want it this way. That will incorporate that part of the word properly so I don't lose it. Otherwise, the writing just won't make sense. Oh, good. And I was worried about how my little bunny would fit in, but he fit in quite well. Yay. Okay, so, oh gosh, that's pretty. I really, really like that light pink. I'm so used to putting a dark behind instead of a pale that I just wasn't sure how I would feel about that. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to move that while I ink because I still haven't changed out my ink pad. So all the way around for both sheets. And I'm just using Vintage Photo to distress this entire book. I think I do need to go back to my template, making sure my paper is the right way up because that was how I had it placed on my book. And just, I'm roughly centering this on the edge of my page, and then I'm going to hold it in place. And I'm going to punch out these holes, which I probably should have done before I inked, but never mind. For some reason, I didn't get this center one right again. Not too bad. Keep that out for the other side. Okay, so I have my glue book here. I'm just using my glue stick. I'm going to apply my glue all over this, which I mentioned before, in a large book like this, takes some doing. So turning the book towards me, or the page that I'm working on towards me, that way it's easier to line up my holes that I've punched out. Okay, and then applying the glue to my covering or focal paper. Okay, I only reapplied that to the top of that paper because it looked like it was drying out a little bit. And just roughly centering. Oops, I want to move it across a little bit. And it's really taken a hold already. Like that, it just took a hold again. Kind of hoping that's straight. I don't think it's quite centered, but never mind, that's where it is now. The glue on that paper, which is unfortunate. I do have this piece of lace here. And it kind of covers up the words. I'm just going to leave that and see if I can remove it once it dries. It's bugging me now. Oh, here we go. It is coming away. I just need to leave it, I think, and let it dry properly. Okay. This is such a bright piece of paper. Oh, I'm reaching for my template, but I haven't torn my edges off yet. It's such a bright piece of paper, and it's making me a little bit nervous, but I'm hoping this goes okay. Okay, and again, so I'm looking at what's on the page. I've noticed this wine glass is quite tall, and it probably won't hurt if I have to cut it down a little bit. You'll still get the imagery to understand what it is. Because I would like a little bit of this flower down here. So just going to see. Thinking about there-ish. Okay. And I probably have been looking at that vertically and not horizontally, so I need to come in a little bit. Now I'm just trying to make sure I'm relatively straight, so I'm kind of using this border on my right just to make sure that I'm relatively straight on the page. I might remove the other edge, long edge, sorry, now. So when I have the template, my ruler butts up against that. If I hold it down quite firmly, my ruler will butt up against that template, and that's how I know where to sit my ruler. So I'm okay with losing just a little of the top of that glass. If I were to come up to the top of the glass, where am I sitting at? So I'm only sitting about here. I do kind of like having this little bit of the red here. So if I come to the top of the glass, I'm there. I actually think I can afford to lose a little bit at the top of that glass, so where do I want to bring it down to? I'm going to say there. I have no idea how this will look. Oh yes, I've still got quite a tall glass, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way that's looking. And I still get that little bit of the red flowers at the bottom. Okay, so making sure my page is up the right way and roughly centered out there. My thumb is sticking to the paper, so I can't just slide my hand down, because as soon as I pick my thumb up, the template wants to come up with it. Okay. So again, I'm going to line up my bottom paper, the bottom of my paper, sorry, using the paper on my left as a guide, and then just checking my placement. I don't think that's too bad. Pretty good. Okay. Oh, isn't that bright and fun? What I do need to do is just need to add a little bit of ink, which I should have done before I put my papers down. Just down that spine. And okay, so to glue these in place, I am going to line up this template and then I'm going to fold it. And in actual fact, before I do that, I'm going to ink those folds because that will help me see what I'm doing when I go to glue. I'm going to do both sides because I feel like it will fold the other way, so hopefully that will, actually it may be that way, never mind. Okay, so folding like that and then getting my art glitter glue just following that book page as best I can. I'm a little bit wonky, that's okay. Probably have my arm in the way, I'm sorry. Okay, removing that and then glue across the top and the bottom. And folding the book over and pulling that page towards me as I press it down. I did just trick myself then. I saw the holes for the pockets at the top there and I was like, hang on, I'm doing a 3-hole pocket page. How have I got holes up there? But it's actually the back of the page. Or technically I'm working on the back of the page, but it's the front of the page I'm looking at. You know what I mean. Okay, so folding that over, we have a nice close adherence to the edge of the page, which I'm loving. Okay, and then I'm going to turn and repeat. So, to get a little bit of glue on my template, I'm going to just pop a paper clip over that and work out which way around I'm going. Yes, so I do need to ink the opposite side. This is purely so that I can see it once it's on, because it's the same paper, it blends so easily once it's down over the top. So that's just to help me be able to see what I'm doing. In actual fact, Let's be a little bit tricky. Because I really wanted to turn the book while I was gluing it, and I couldn't because I was holding it, so now I can. Okay. And again, book page facing me, and I'm just going to close the top of the book as best I can and pull that page towards me and press it down. And I'll use my bone folder just to really lock that into place. I love it. It is very bright, I will admit, but I still really love it. I do wonder, it's a little bit wide. Just going to get my basket of lace. It's very thick. Do I want that, or I like that. I do have, it's the wrong color red. Don't mind that actually. So these ribbons I purchased at my local Spotlight. I'm going to say about there. And I actually got them specifically for this altered book. I just feel like I want to ground that a little bit. I feel like that will work beautifully. I did really like the lace, but I used lace on my last page, so I like that I can change it up. And this kind of has a lacy print on it, which I'm really liking. Okay, I love that. I think I'm going to cut one of these out as a whole. Just fraying that edge a fraction. I do like the idea of a little bit of textile on here. It also kind of covers up that little bit of tacky glue that was bothering me. Sometimes I feel like those things happen because I probably would have left this page without anything else on it. And I sometimes wonder if the universe is telling me it needed something else. Well, that's kind of fun. Not sure that's going to stick with just... No, it just stuck to my finger. I need some... Sorry about the noise. Sorry, I'm off camera probably, but the glue is oozing out. So I was trying to avoid getting that on my book because that's part of the reason I'm putting this on my book. Because I ended up with glue where I didn't want it. But that's kind of fun. It's a similar red, which I really love. So it kind of ties in with the colour on this side. An eraser here. It's just an ordinary eraser. I'm just wondering if it'll lift a little bit of that. That's a little bit better. It was very tactile on the page. I'm probably jiggling the camera and I'm sorry for that, but that kind of needed to happen. Okay, a little bit of the fabric glue has seeped through that ribbon, but that's okay. So they are our 2 pages for today. I've got things in the way of the light and bits all over my table, but okay, so they are today's pages in our Christmas altered book. I think they're really, really pretty. They're very different to even the last pages. I mean, look at the contrast in those, but how fun. So, so pretty. And we will make journaling cards to, well, essentially they'll be long bookmark type cards, which I really love the idea of, to go inside the pockets. And with pockets on either side, there'll be lots of room for journaling in this altered book, even though a lot of what we see initially when we open up the book is decorative. So excited. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I really love all of the pages in this book. It makes me really happy just looking through it. So I look forward to seeing you all soon, everybody. Happy crafting and bye for now. Okay, so I decided I would just do a quick show and tell of the final page. Now that you've watched the video, I decided that I would quickly pop on here. I actually haven't had this book open again since I created this page, so it's really fun to be able to look at it again. But this is how my pages turned out and I really love it. So I thought I would just do a quick video to show you. Hopefully the lighting will be much better in this little section of the video, and you can see the true colours. I'm pretty sure I got them fairly close in the video itself, but just in case, I wanted to be true to the papers and the digital artists who created them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I do apologise for not realising that my exposure was out, and hopefully it won't happen again, because I don't like you missing out on things. So I hope you all stay inspired, stay safe, and happy crafting, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.